Have you figured out your niche? Are you helping adding value to other people's lives? Then you're in the right place. Welcome to Munira's Musings with your host, co-author of Conversations with Top Real Estate Investors Volume 3, Munira Zahabi.
Greetings from Chicagoland. This is Munira, your host and friend for Munira's Musings. Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Munira's Musings. Thank you so much. Our guest today is Kat Williams, and she is the queen of networking. Now, we all know that networking is the key these days. Even I, in my niche, the first word is networking. So we want to learn about how she got into it and how she found her niche in that. But before we start, I want to thank all of you for being here, for being present during my show. I appreciate that. And the fact is, you've taken time out of your busy schedule and watching me, because you could be watching anything out there. Thank you for that. And if you like what you see, please like, subscribe, and share this video, because we are here we are here to make an impact in somebody's life. Let me tell you a little bit about who I am and what I am and what Munira's Musing is all about. I am Munira Zahabi. I live in Chicagoland with my family. It's snowing here. It's early day in January. What do you get? But, I am the niche navigator, and I help people find their niche. People who are coaches and business entrepreneurs. Finding your niche is the biggest hurdle that you will overcome. Yes, building a business does take time, but if you know what you want, then it's easier for you to get it. It's like having a recipe when you're trying to make something, having a GPS direction if you want to go somewhere. You need to know what your end destination is going to be. That's what I teach. I use the compass, you can see that. But I also have this show where I showcase people who have already found their niche and are impacting other people's lives. So Munira's Musings came about when I met so many different people out there who are doing so many extraordinary things that I thought were extraordinary, but they didn't. So I thought, I'm just going to interview you, let me know and find out. It started out as a curiosity thing, and now it's become a show. So, that was my niche there. So I have a few different niches. But enough about me. Let's talk about Kate. Hi, Kat. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Well, hello. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you letting me be on your show.
You are welcome. My show is open to everybody who has a niche. So if you got a niche, you want to be on my show, come on over. We'll figure out a date. It takes a minute, but we do always. Tell me a little bit about you and where you're calling us from.
Okay, well, I am from Springfield, Missouri. I was born and raised in this area, lived here all my life. I was a hotel manager for 10 years, and then I've always been a gatherer of people. People would always gather at my house, or I just have always been great at talking with anyone and not afraid to, get to know someone and their story. And so I've just always had that gift to be able to connect people together. And so in 2009, I was given the opportunity to help grow a networking group. And with that, I would go to every kind of function that was out there, and I would see people that would be standing, maybe in the corner or something and awkward and didn't know how to fit in and start a conversation. So because I have the ability or the gift, God's given me the gift to be able to talk, we'd go get that person, I'd find out about them, and then I would take them and introduce them to whoever they needed to be introduced to and get that conversation going. Then I would leave. And so over doing that for 10 years, I the Lord impressed on me back in June to start a networking group called Courageous Business Connect. And with that, I am bringing business owners together on a weekly basis so that we can build relationships and get to know each other, build that trust gap, and then pass referrals back and forth and help build their business, which in turn builds the community. So I'm just a connector of people. I love sitting down, talking with people, finding out what their need is, and then I'm able to connect people to their need.
I love that, so people connector. I have that caption on my LinkedIn profile as well, because I know people. Hey, hang on. You want this? Let me go. I know somebody who can help you. Let me find that person, So it happens, right? And the thing is, you have to love people in order to do this. You cannot just do this because, just because, right? So
that is true, yes.
You fell into your niche. You were asked to do something and you just took it and flew with it,
Yes.
So I'm not saying ran with it, because, you didn't run, you just flew with it. Okay, so why do you keep doing it?
Oh, I love people. I love to pour into people, and I love it when I make a connection with people. And I see how once they connect, they're able to either grow their business or a relationship form out of it. I've seen great friendships over the last 11, 12 years that have come out of being able to connect together, or, partnerships. I've seen people who have been able to become business partners, and then I love to watch people grow. And I love people. As you said, you can't do this without loving people, and it's a passion of mine, is to connect people together and just watch conversations go and how they blossom and relationships. It's just amazing.
So you've created your own group, and pardon me for asking, online, but is this like a paid membership, and how do you make money?
Well, I have a couple ways. I also sell a service called Legal Shield, and so I've been doing that for 10 years also. But yes, with the networking group Courageous, it is a membership fee. So it's $20 a month or $200 a year to be a part of our organization.
Oh, that's great. Okay. And so what do they get?
So with that, you're getting not only me organizing all these events, the weekly meetings that we have a training that's coming up in April. So I'm organizing all this. You also get on our website. So you're advertised on our website, and just me facilitating, plus I do coaching too. So they get a lot for what I put into it.
Okay, so now you've opened up another door, because now I'm curious, right? I'm just like you. We are curious people. So when you coach people, what are you coaching?
Most of it is small business stuff. So, I just sit down with people, find out what their need is, and then give them the ideas or the tools, or help them on how to grow their business in different directions that they might need to go. If they're looking for an LLC, how to do that, or just whatever their need is, I know how to fill that, whether it's something that I've experienced or if it's just connecting someone together.
Huh. Okay. So that's awesome, because I feel like people are not talking enough. We've got a device in our hands, and I was at the hospital lobby 2 days ago, and then I was at the Social Security office this morning, and I was at the bank this morning. I was doing a lot of running around. But the thing is, when you're sitting there, people are constantly on their phones. They don't look at each other. They don't smile. They don't open doors. It's like, open the door and I'm just going to walk out, right? And they don't have that human touch anymore. And that's becoming quite scary, because why are we attached to a screen? And these days, my kids think I'm nuts, but I try to look at what people are looking at, just to see if this was an emergent email from a boss or something. I don't want to read what you're doing, but at least see the screen. Most people are just playing a game, or they are on Snapchat or something like that. And so they are looking at different ideas or something, but they're not looking up, right?
Right.
And so networking has become such an important activity for business owners these days, where you have to connect two people one-on-one. You just have to, because if you don't, then that connection is lost.
I totally agree. And that's one of the things that I train when we're doing these meetings and such, is that relationship building is critical. And for them to be able to, I always make them say at the end of the meeting, repeat after me. I promise you, Kat, that before I leave here today, that I will make at least 2 connections with someone. And then I kind of chuckle and say, don't be liars, go make connections. And at that point, they're all getting up and they're talking with each other. They are setting up meetings to get to know each other better and to know what business they are, so that it makes them better referral partners. So you're building those relationships.
Yeah, that's awesome. So 10 years. No, you started Courageous in June of last year.
I did. Yeah.
So why did you, what's different for the first group that you did and now this one?
Well, the first group I did it with some friends, and I was actually just being their marketing director for that. And in May, the Lord was leading me to do things differently. And what they did, and their organization is a great organization, and I've seen it help a lot of people, but mine is totally different. Theirs is a industry exclusive, and I saw there was a need to have more of a not industry exclusive. So mine is open. You can be a part of my networking group or anyone else's networking group. So it gives you that freedom to not just be industry exclusive. And I've found that if you have like 2 insurance people together, they can really, if they build a relationship, can be the best referral partners, because what one doesn't have, the other one might. And if you build a good enough foundation with a relationship with that person, then you're not going to worry about them stealing them if you refer them for something that your insurance can't do. And so really you can make the best referral partners with some of the same industry. Also, I just, the Lord laid it on my heart to be very positive. So we start our meetings with an affirmation, and throughout the whole thing is just very upbeat and very positive. And not that the other one wasn't, it's just different. It's different than any other networking group out there, the way that the Lord has laid it on my heart to run it.
Great. Okay. All right. And I like the fact that it's a membership now. So can they do month to month, or do they have to sign up as yearly, or do they just, some of people just test the waters and see if they like it?
Well, they have the option that they can do a monthly. I made it where it's affordable for anyone. So for that small business that might just be starting out, that needs help and training and working their way up, to the business that can just write a $200 check. And so you can do it on a monthly basis, and you're not obligated to be in a contract for a year or whatever. You can quit after a month if you don't think that it works for you. Or again, if you want to do the yearly, it's $200 a year. So I've made it easy for everybody.
Okay. That's good, because it gives other people options, right? Now, do you have people in your group only from your area, or do you have people from United States everywhere?
Well, right now I have only people in our area. So we have 3 groups up and running right now. Within the next month, we'll have 3 more groups. I would like to eventually have it across the country. When I come across the right people and the Lord opens those right doors, then I would like to move across the country with this.
I hope and pray that it works out for you. You know, so one thing I'm trying to understand is it 3 groups that working. What does that mean? You have 3 different groups that meet at 3 different times, or 3 different areas, or?
Correct. I have 3 different groups that meet at 3 different times. So some people prefer like a Tuesday morning. Some people prefer an afternoon. So you kind of get those people what day and time works best for you. So right now I have Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, and Thursday morning. But then next week I will have one on a Wednesday afternoon, one on a Monday afternoon, and then a Friday morning group. And that will be a little further from Springfield. That's going to be probably about 30 minutes away from Springfield in another area called Branson, Missouri. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Branson, but
I have. I don't know where, but I have.
Well, it's a big tourist area, but we're going to have one down there starting also.
So are you going to be traveling a lot then?
I am going to be traveling a lot, and then, you know, wherever the Lord leads me, that's where I want to go.
Okay, so questions. Do you still work in the hotel industry?
No, I have not worked in the hotel industry since 2009 when the Lord took me out of that and started me in the networking area.
And I had another question which just completely escaped me. So I like what you're doing. And when you have this networking, how long do they last? And what do you do at each meeting?
So they're an hour and a half long. The first 15 minutes is open networking. And a lot of times it's, you know, people are coming in, they're ordering their food because we usually have them at a restaurant. You know, it's easier to talk with people when you sit down for breakfast or dinner with them, or lunch, as some people call it. And so the first 15 minutes is that. Then I welcome everyone, and then we do our affirmation, and then there's a few announcements. You know, I tell the mission of what CBC is about, the benefits of being part of CBC, and then we talk about different events that's going on in our area that you can network at. And then we have what's a keynote speaker. So our members get to showcase their business, but we also bring in community leaders. So we've had a senator come and speak with us. I'm working on the fire chief and our city Springfield chief of police. I'm working on them coming in, and also where we can connect the community. We've also, so then after that, we have a time for what I call kudos, raves, and roars. And that's where people in the group can, you know, give a kudos to somebody or thank them for something, or say, you know, when we were in our one-on-ones together, I learned this about this person and I really admire that person. So it gives them a chance to uplift somebody and say something positive about somebody in the group. Or, hey, that person gave me a great referral and I just want to give a shout out to him. I know that I have one guy who he's in Cancun, and we have a travel agent in one of our groups, and she set all that up for him. And he was just really singing her praises about what a great job she did. And then when they got down there, it was for his wife's birthday. There was a little extra something in the room for him. And so he was just really singing praises in front of people. And then after that, I usually give some kind of mentor statement or moment. And then, you know, I make them promise me that they'll connect with someone, and then we end the meeting. So,
you know, that's awesome. So you just fell into this and there's no training. I mean, you of course have to grow yourself, right, in order to keep helping others grow too. So how do you keep up with that?
Well, there's a business coach here that I adore, and I work with. Her name is Laura Newman, and she is amazing. And so I go to her trainings. Any kind of training that I can pick up on, I go to that. I work a lot with Mary Kay. Mary Kay has one of the best trainings out there for people, and I don't think people really know that, but they do. And so I saw Mary Kay many years ago and got to do a lot of training with that. And I have a best friend who is a director, and so it's just, I go to a lot of different things that's going on in the area, and I learn. I just constantly learn. And then above all, the Lord gives me a lot of wisdom. I pray for wisdom, and he usually gives me the words to speak when the time is right.
You bring a very good point. So before I sing your praise and all that, let me ask you something else. Most of the time, these networking meeting groups, events, all of these, they strive for numbers, right? How do you keep your membership open, and how do you do you have a large turnover? Do you have people that fall off? I mean, tell me about your numbers.
So numbers really aren't that important to me. You're going to have a roller coaster effect with networking. You're going to have people that come in, and then life changes, and you're going to have people leave. Right now, like I said, we started June 19th, is January, we have 54 members. And I don't really care how fast we go, it's more quality. Because I was asking the Lord, I said, Lord, shouldn't I be further along? And he said, build your foundation and it will stand. And so if you build a good foundation, it's kind of like the hare and the tortoise. The hare may have gone fast, but the tortoise actually won the race. And so that's where I'm at. It doesn't matter if I go like a rabbit out of the gate. I would rather be the tortoise who builds the foundation, and that my pyramid, like the Egyptian pyramids, will stand for a lifetime.
I'm laughing because the hare and the tortoise. Last week, I've been interviewing a lot of people, like-minded people like you and I, and this story has come up in 3 of the 4 conversations that we had last week. And now you're bringing it up again. So there's some more to it, because I have never spoken to you about this, or had never spoken to the others about it, but it keeps coming back because why are people in such a hurry? Slow but sure wins the race. You're right. That's amazing. I mean, you're doing a wonderful job, and I know that numbers is a problem. How do you market to women? Is it just women or men too?
No, it's women and men. So I have both. I go to networking events. I go to different places. We do Facebook event pages. My people then invite people. So it just kind of is like that wave that comes in,
Domino.
Yes.
The domino effect. Okay, cool.
Yes.
No, what you're doing is awesome. See, the thing is, we have to meet, we have to greet, we have to network, because you never know who you're going to meet, right? I used to go to these meetings every Thursday that I was a part of, and I just sat anywhere. And one day I never knew that this guy was a lawyer sitting next to me. And until we started talking, he was always sitting next to me, and we were always sipping a drink or something, but we never talked. And then, we had a young fellow who said, do you know the person sitting next to you? And I was like, no, okay, so let's talk, But you find out that he's been a lawyer, and he does all kinds of law. It's not like he specializes in just one. But that was the unique thing about him. So the thing is, you never know who you're sitting next to, or you never know who you're going to meet that may impact your life. And that's what it is about. You found your niche, and people who are looking, once you find your niche, take that gift and impact people's lives, because that is going to make your life a living bliss, right? Because you don't want to be in a place where you're not happy. And if you make two people, if you connect two people, it makes sense, right? I've learned so many, I've met so many people. I have a filing system on my phone. Where have I met this person? So I have a parenthesis where I do that. And then when I put the keyword in, it comes up, because sometimes I don't remember the name. The idea behind that is to create, a network. But once you know somebody does this, you can find somebody who needs their services. And part of that reason was why Munira's Musings came up, because there's people out there who need you, and there's somebody else that you can refer to for that person. So it's all about networking. You can do it online, you can do it, in person. I think more in person is much better. But if you're an introvert and need just help, you need to start coming on to these kind of events where you're coming in and then meeting other people and then getting out of the house, because that's what it's all about. Just meet people. You never know who you're going to meet, and you never know how you're going to impact that person. I went to the Social Security office today, and I couldn't believe that there was quite a few people who needed opening the door. They didn't realize to press the button. The guard was standing there. He didn't help. And I just, it's cold today, but I just opened the door and I said, okay, who's coming in? Who's going out? I'll be Carlton, your doorman, if you remember that. And, it's not anything, but 3 people were like, one lady just held my hand and said, thank you so much. This door is pretty heavy. Well, they have to be, because they have to close out the wind. So they have to be heavy. But, of all, the whole room was full. Nobody opened the door for them. And these were people with disabilities, right? They needed assistance to get their body from one place to another, and they couldn't open the door. So I'm not saying that I'm an angel or anything, but what I'm saying is, how do you impact your other people's lives? That's going to make sense, right? And
Right.
all you need is a smile or a thank you. And that's how relationships are built. That's how I've built relationships, and they have lasted. So thank you so much for what you're doing.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's what I tell my people. I said, never not meet with someone, because you just don't know who they know. And, the person that you want to get connected to may be a whole lot closer by sitting down, finding out what that person does, finding out their family, finding out who they are, what their story is, and what their service or their product is that they're selling, so that you can be a better referral partner. And even by being a better referral partner, that makes you the go-to person for your clients, and that makes your clients go to you for everything. And why do you want your clients to go to you? Because the next time that they might have a loan, if you're a loan officer, then who's the first person that they're going to refer to is that person who knows everybody that they go to and ask, who do you know that does this? Who do you know that does that? If you become that go-to to your clients, then you're going to be number one in their book for anything.
You're the first person. Hey, do you know somebody who can,
That's
and
right.
you do.
That's right.
So, but I don't know somebody, but I know a person who does, and that's how it starts, right?
That's right. That's right. I had someone once call me and say, Kat, you know everybody. I want to buy a goat. Where can I find a goat? Within an hour, I found them a goat to buy. So you want to be that go-to person to your people.
I know. It's more fun that way. But the thing is, do it wholeheartedly and smile, right? Don't be grouchy. Right. Just be smiling to people. I met this one friend, my friend Melanie. We met at the John Maxwell event, and she was standing there, and I said, "We're going to breakfast. You want to come?" And she looked at me. It's like, "Who is this girl? Who is this woman talking to me?" You know. And she followed us, and we've become good friends just because we said that. And she's just standing there. I don't know why she, I still haven't figured out why she was just standing there. I don't know if she was waiting for somebody. And I just said, "We're going to breakfast. You want to come?" Because it's 3,000 people. It's a throng of people. You don't know all of them. You may have come for the first time. So you don't know who you're looking for, but you just need that one person to smile, right?
I totally agree. My daughter, I embarrass her quite often because she knows I'm going to talk to everybody. And more than once, we have invited somebody to sit at our table if they were by themselves, you know. And a few weeks ago, we were out eating, and I saw this lady sitting by herself. And I said, "Oh, she's by herself." And my daughter goes, "Don't you dare today, Mom," because she knew that I would ask her to come and sit with us.
And did you?
I didn't that day. Normally I do, but my daughter wanted me just for herself that day. So it was a mom and daughter day.
Oh, okay. You know, I didn't learn this until I went to Miami one time. I was working there, and I was there for 4 weeks. And so one weekend I just started driving, and I ended up by the water, God only knows where. And there was there was this restaurant, and I parked, and I went in. There was a couple that saw me parking. They waved at me, you know, because they said, "Hey, there's a parking here, so come get it." You know, usually people don't do that. And this is like a dirt road. It's a roadside place. You know, everybody else is going into this. It was a Mexican restaurant, very nice, but full of people. So there's nobody there. So I walked in, and there's no table. So the waitress tells me, "There's no table. You want to sit at the bar?" And I'm, "Nah," you know. So these people saw me again, and she goes, "Oh, there you are. Come sit with us." And I was like, "Are you sure you don't mind?" And she goes, No, that's fine." And they started talking about themselves and how long they've lived in Miami and all that. And I was like, whoa, this is a good experience, right? But I wouldn't have experienced it if they wouldn't have invited me. And
Right.
you know, I have their name and number, and I call them often, and we just kind of, you know, touch bases, and that's it, you know. But the thing is that the relationship has been kept. That's what it is. But I appreciate what you're doing. Now, how do people find you if they have any questions or, you know, queries?
Well, they can find us on Facebook or on my website, which is www.courageousbusinessconnect.com. And just, you know, email us on there, and we'll get back to you. And my phone number is 417-496-9124 if you want to call me. I'd be glad to help anyone that I can. That's my heart is people. I love people, and I love to help them, and whatever I can do to connect people, build them up, and give them a better day. That's what I want to do.
There you go. Thank you, folks, so much. So thank you, Kat. Thank you so much for your time. I'm honored and humbled to have you on my show. But folks, right here, she's told us a lot about networking. You know it's important. All you have to do is just take, you know, stand up, go, get ready, and find a network near. It's not hard. You know, you can look at Facebook, and they have the events that's going on. You can look at Meetup and go find an event that's going on. You know, I talk to everybody, so just talk to somebody. Just talk, yeah?
Yes, yes, just smile and talk.
Yeah, smile. But don't just smile and wave. Smile and talk. You know?
Yes.
Smile and wave is when you know there's a issue out there, and you don't want to get in the middle of it, so you smile and wave. But other than that, just smile and talk. And you know what? Some people will look at you funny and say, "What is wrong with this person?" But all you have to do is hi, and that somebody's going to answer, right? And have fun. That's it. That's all about it. Enjoy, be curious, have fun, just talk to people. And you know, if you like this video, go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We'll also post it on YouTube under Munira's Musings. Go ahead and take a look over there. We've got over 150 plus videos on there. So, go network. Thank you, Kat.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Munira's Musings with your host, Munira Zahabi. If you enjoyed our show, please share and subscribe to this channel. And for more content, please join our Facebook group called Navigate to Your Niche.